3 years where I couldn't drive because my license was medically stripped, and I had to go through like the hand control driving and stuff like that. Then you probably had to go through that course, right?
I haven't seen like your setup of your car. I'll be interested to see what it's like.
Your setup is an absolute spacecraft. Like it's
Oh
the
God.
coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be like driving along the road or the motorway, whatever, and because it's hand controls, I've got both my hands here. People drive past me and they're looking at me like, that girl's got no fucking steering wheel. Oh my God, oh my God.
I know,
And
because
there
they
I am,
took the
just
steering wheel
driving.
right out. What's going on, everybody? My name is Professor Parks, and today I had the pleasure of hanging out with Jasmine Rankin. She's from the UK, and was diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy when she was 18 months years old. 18?
Yeah, that's
18
correct.
months
Yeah.
years old. 18 months old. So what was that like? Like, obviously you're very young. Like, so you've
Yeah.
lived your whole life throughout this. And when it comes with SMA, it's sort of like a progression type of thing, right?
Yeah, so SMA as a whole is a muscle wasting condition. So basically, as you get older, so do your muscles effectively. But they don't ever like grow back as such or repair themselves. They will just forever continue to keep dying out, which sounds really, really depressing, but it's really not. Um, so I was diagnosed at 18 months old. My mum and dad knew that something wasn't quite right because my tongue tremors. So if I poked my tongue out at you now, it would be wiggling, which is quite funny.
Well, you're
um,
prepared. I mean, whatever. You're good to go.
yeah. So my mum was told for like maybe maybe a year or so that she was just like an insecure first parent. You know, I was her first child, and um, you know, just relax. It's your first child. You know, get on with it. Come back if you need us. And anyway, she kept going back. She kept going back. This isn't right. This isn't right. Jasmine isn't crawling. Jasmine isn't standing. Jasmine isn't doing the things that she should be doing at her age. Um, so anyway, my mum, bless her, nearly ended up getting sectioned because she was very persistent with trying to find out what the hell was up with
They
me.
thought she was crazy.
Yeah.
What the
They
fuck,
did.
man? This is just a worried mother, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So and then so I was diagnosed at 18 months old through a muscle biopsy. So I've got like a little scar on my leg, and they literally just take a part of your muscles and test it. And that came back that I had SMA type 2. So, as I said, that's a muscle wasting condition. I was in a wheelchair from about the age of 4. I had a really cute wheelchair. It was like a little ladybug, bright red, and like I just looked adorable in it.
Oh my
I
gosh.
have to try and find a photo and show you, but
Absolutely.
really, really cute. Um, yeah, but I did walk up until I was 12 or so.
I was gonna ask about it if you had like any like you were able to walk by any means, or.
Yeah, so I had like a frame that I would walk with at like primary school, we call it over in the UK. Um, and that would go everywhere with me. And if my legs got tired, I would just sit on the back of it and scoot like a scooter.
Yeah, perfect.
Um,
Scoot by everybody, suckers.
yeah. So yeah, I did that until I was about 12, and then I developed a scoliosis, which is quite common with SMA, where the muscles kind of deteriorate in your spine, and it develops a curve. Um, so I was, I believe, 68, 70 degrees twisted. Um, and I needed to have my spine corrected, otherwise it would have killed me. Like it was crushing all of like my left hand side organs.
Yeah.
So
You were young
that,
too. Like you weren't,
yeah,
like you hadn't hit puberty yet, like things hadn't started going on, yeah.
yeah, literally. So that was at the age again of 12. So I think what happened is I lost the majority of the muscle that I did have in my legs, and other places when I was in hospital having my spine rodded, because I was in there for a good month and a half, I think, recovering um and what have you. So yeah, I got to the age of 12, and then I was in a wheelchair full time. I still am. um and for all of like my transfers, I either get hoisted, well, I say I either get hoisted. My fiance chucks me around.
Just
So
picks you up like, all right, get in bed.
he literally
Fucking-
does. He never does me. Like my girlfriends, when they come over, they'll lift me either
For
like
sure.
between themselves or just make it work. And my carers that come in to help me with like my everyday needs, they just like pick me up and chuck me around as well. But I do have a hoist if I need one.
It's like collecting dust at this point in time.
Yeah.
Everyone's just chucking Jasmine around.
Literally. But yeah, so that's like about SMA, I suppose. I can't lift anything heavier than like a pint of water.
Okay. So
I
when it
do
comes
have-
to your finger movement, like, do you have good finger movement, or is it just your actual strength of grip?
yeah, so like my finger movement
Yeah,
is
yeah.
fine, but it's the strength of it, and I don't know. Whereas like an ordinary person may pick up a cup like this, I'm trying to show you, but it's a bit. I would have to use that with both hands until I can get into a comfortable position that I can then carry
Drink it.
on.
Mhm.
But like my finger movement and my wrist movement is fine. They're just very weak, and especially like in the cold. But I think that's like for everybody, isn't it? You struggle a bit more when you're cold.
You're like tight. You're like very like, I don't know. Everything hurts more. Everything
Yeah.
hurts more in the cold. You know, whether it be your bones or you get hit in the leg with a hockey puck or whatever it is, it
Yeah.
hurts. I use a hockey puck analogy because I'm Canadian. I don't know if you ever played hockey or whatever, but in the
No.
UK, it's probably not the biggest thing out there, right?
No, it's more like cricket over here.
Okay. Is that the big thing is cricket out there?
I don't really know.
Sports to watch? Yeah.
I do watch football, but I'm not like really into it.
Yeah.
So, but I would say like in the UK, it's probably like football, rugby, and cricket.
I
Like,
was
are the
gonna
big-
say definitely soccer was football, right? That's yeah. That's not bad. So does your you have a fiance, like you recently got engaged. Congrats.
Well, we got engaged 2 years ago.
Okay. So that's my bad.
We were meant to get. I'm thinking maybe you're thinking we were meant to get married in August.
Yes.
Just gone. And that has been obviously postponed because of the
COVID.
pandemic. Which is just brilliant. But I don't know, like I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And actually, last August we also moved house, and it would have been 2 days before our original wedding date. And I honestly think I probably would have had a breakdown.
That's a lot. Wedding and moving. You can't put that much on a girl. You can't put that much on a girl. It would be in a wedding, a movement, divorce, fucking everything, all within the same week. It would just and a honeymoon.
I would have been having a bloody breakdown. So like I said,
100%.
I do think like, although I'm still absolutely gutted, we've got a new date, which is October this year. We wanted a summer wedding, but the dates now are just like a little bit more. We've got to be more careful because of when the restrictions are lifted and what's actually left, because everybody's having to postpone, obviously.
What's it like out there right now, COVID-wise?
We're still in lockdown, but
Okay.
only until so on the 29th of March we can mix outside with 6 people, and I think from June we're hoping that every single restriction will be lifted, so there won't be like a limit on how many people you can see. I don't think
Awesome.
there'll be masks or anything like that, but we'll see, because I don't know. What about you? What's it like for you out there?
It's pretty the same. It's honestly, I think that people in Canada are kind of taking it easy. I think that we weren't really doing much anyways. It's the winter time. We're kind of hibernating as it is. We know the drill. We know what's going on. But with summertime coming, like, and then with everybody that goes through seasonal depression, there's a lot of seasonal depression with Canada, and just because I swear to God, we get like 3 or 4 months of summer, or any within that, if that, right? So when this happens, it's like patio season, pub crawls, let's go, get the pints rolling, where are the boys, where's the chicas at? Like, it's like any excuse to get out, it happens. So like, I don't think that anybody's gonna be throwing any big jammers anytime soon. But I think that the pubs will open up and kind of everybody will be good. And I think it's about the same. I think we'll be all right. It's not like, I know Texas is open up. Like in the States, there's like different places that are just completely maskless and like open up and this and that. And like, that's pretty ruthless. I know UFC, one of the newest UFC fighting events, is going to be full event. Just the owner wants money or whatever, right? So like that stuff's dangerous. That stuff's dangerous. There's like there's doctors out there just saying like no, Dana White, to the owner, like don't do it. Like this is such a terrible idea, because it really, like, think about, I don't know, even a couple thousand people in one area, how much something like that can spread, right? One person takes a plane to Canada, next thing you know, I'm sick because that asshole.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I don't know, like it's such a crazy time, isn't it? Like, and it's been going on now for like such a long time, but I just keep thinking, like, when is it gonna fucking end? Like it's just never ending.
I just try to read up on some of the old, like the Spanish flu and stuff like that, and like absolutely detrimental, and just glad that we're sort of that much more advanced in medicine, that we're not experiencing such a loss of lives like that. So I'm just kind of, I think that we're so much smarter, and like I just kind of take that. I don't do much anyways. Like I'm not just to sit in a chair, because like I drive and so do you. Like, you know that we are able to get out. I recently just was able to drive. Like I've been in a chair for about 3 years or so, like 3.5 years, and I just probably a couple months ago got my license back. So there's a good 3 years where I couldn't drive because my license was medically stripped, and I had to go through like the hand control driving and stuff like that. You probably had to go through that course, right?
I haven't seen like your setup of your car. I'll be interested to see what it's like.
Your setup is an absolute spacecraft. Like it's the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was gonna pull up a video about that actually, but yeah, maybe I'll do that. You keep talking. I'm gonna pull up a video. This is new to me.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I'll be like driving along the road or the motorway, whatever, and because it's hand controls, I've got both my hands here. People drive past me and they're looking at me like, that girl's got no fucking steering wheel. Oh my god!
I know, because they took the steering wheel right out. That girl's got no fucking steering wheel. Oh my god!
Just cruising along like.
You're too funny, man. Yup.
So, but yeah, like I've driven for God a long time now.
Yeah. So you know what's funny? Can you see this right here? You in your car?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So this is the very first photo that I saw of you, and I don't know how. Maybe it was just like wheelchair accessible vehicle or disabled, some sort of tag. And I was like, oh shit, that is the first thing I saw. This.
Well, you mean not my face?
Oh, beautiful face, right? And obviously this fabulous jacket. There's this girl on my Facebook, Ashley, would die for this, okay? But this was the coolest thing ever, because mine's very similar as to where, like, this is probably where you stop and go, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you push to stop,
yeah,
pull to go,
yeah,
right? And then this would be your steering wheel, because it gives you a better grip on it rather than this giant wheel.
Yeah.
Super cool, man. Super cool. It doesn't seem very different than me, other than the lack of steering wheel. It looks crazy because you're in your automatic chair. Okay. What's this NOS button? You got a couple NOS buttons here?
The red button, that button there is the ignition. The green button is start, stop.
Start, stop?
Like start the engine and then turn it on and off engine.
Oh, okay.
You know the next button, I can't think what that is from memory. How bad is that?
That's the closest button to your hand, Jasmine.
Ignition, start. Oh my god, I don't know.
Horn?
No. Maybe like, oh my god, I don't know.
Uh-oh, maybe we're gonna pull out. We're gonna have to try to find this. Here it is.
Hey, have a look on.
It's a yellow one. It's yellow. You're driving. Here's Jasmine driving.
Oh, it's hazard. It's a hazard.
Okay, your hazard blinkers. That makes sense. There it is. She doesn't use her hazard lights. We figured it out. So these got to be your turn signals, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah. So I can either let go of my lever and whack them up or down, but there's also a red button on the lever.
Oh, okay.
Where my thumb sits.
Yep.
If I hold that button down, it beeps up to 9 times. So if it beeps twice, that means.
Are you pressing it right there? Did you just press it right there, maybe?
I might have.
But yeah, so it beeps 9 times. I apologize.
Yeah. So if I hold the button down and it beeps twice, that indicates left, and then I have to let it beep twice again to cancel it. 3 times is right. 4 times is strangely the horn. So if somebody gets in my way, I've got to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Beep.
Fuck you.
So delayed, so I just end up screaming and like waving my hands instead of beeping.
No kidding. That is so funny.
Yeah.
That's wild. So, what else was there? Something else on there I was looking at there. Sorry. You had this little tiny button. Oh, that's unlock and unlock. I can see the little lock and unlock.
Of the wheelchair.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I'll just drive in, and as soon as I get in, it secures me right in. And as the minute I want to get out, I just press the button, and it almost like unflicks from under my wheelchair, and then I can get out. So it's all like safe once I'm in there.
So they're just locked. They like hook you in there. Very cool. Very cool.
And then it unhooks when I press that button.
So one of the questions I want to ask you earlier was, have you always been in a automatic chair? Has that always been the choice?
Yeah, always, because the arm, every single muscle is affected with SMA. So like I said, I can only pick up something as heavy as a pint of water, but it's little things like brushing my hair, doing my makeup, brushing my teeth. Like that is quite a lot of effort for me. So suppose like the chair you use, I wouldn't be able to do that because my arms would just be absolutely knackered by
done.
the end of it.
Knackered.
Knackered. I do have a chair like yours, and that's just for like if we go away and like Luke drives and he takes his car.
It's gonna fold it up, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, but then he'll just push me. Like, there's no way that I would be able to even. I'd probably like shove myself forward and move like a little bit, but.
How long have you and Luke been together?
Nearly 4 years.
Amazing, amazing. So you guys have been engaged for 2 years?
Yeah.
Together for 4? That's a great period of time till you get to know somebody for 2 years. And
he was my neighbor, you see. So at the old house, my front door was here, and as I looked out my front door, there was another front door, and that was Luke's. So I used to spy on him, and he used to spy on me.
For how long were you guys neighbors for?
God, a long time.
Wow, so you guys have known each other for a long time.
Yeah, but we knew I suppose. We knew of each other. And Luke's an identical twin, so I knew one of them was very hot on cars because I always would see one of them out on the car. So I thought, I'll just message this one, Luke, it happened to be, to see
if he'll fit the car. I like that.
To see if he'll fit my radio.
Okay, I gotcha.
Luke came back and said, "Oh, I'm really sorry, but it's my brother Callum that's into cars." And I was like, damn it, how can I get to know him now? Because he can't do my fucking radio. What am I gonna say? Anyway, we just carried on like talking on like Facebook Messenger for a while, and then whenever we saw each other, we'd have a chat, and then it kind of just like went from there really, because I was actually gay for a long time, and then I met Luke and everything like completely changed for me. So we I don't
know how you were dating women. They're impossible.
Oh, I know. It really annoys me when girls are like, "Oh my god, my boyfriend's being an idiot. I'm just gonna turn into a lesbian," and I'm like, "No, you do not. No, men are so much easier." Well,
that's so funny.
I've only been with Luke, so.
Right.
Yeah. So we were neighbors, and we just dated for a while. I freaked out a lot because I'd never been with a guy, and I was like, oh my god. He'll still tell you to this day that I led him on, and he still reminds me every day that I led him on.
Perfect.
But he's lush. We've got a really, really strong, stable relationship, and yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. I love that. That's fucking awesome. I was reading into your just some of the things you had posted on your Instagram, not so much the photos, but just what you had actually posted there. And you mentioned something about and I know I'm not going to say this right. Risdaplam?
Yeah, the first time.
Risdaplam?
Yes, well
Perfect.
done.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. What is that? What does that do for you and everybody else with spinal muscular atrophy? Like, what is that?
Okay, so I'll try my best to answer this because at the moment I'm still going through the process of getting that drug. It's been approved for me, so that's amazing. But I've actually got an appointment next week at the hospital to get all the paperwork signed in hope that I can start taking this amazing drug. Um, so basically, it's not been approved on the NHS yet. It's a trial for people with SMA type 2s, and there is another type that has been approved for as well. I think it's type 1 and type 2, but not type 3, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And what it's meant to do is to stop the deterioration of the SMA, which obviously in itself is awesome. Uh, but a lot of people that have been taking it have noticed gains. So a really good friend of mine has been taking it, and her arm movements have got better. She's much more weaker than me, and she can't really do anything for herself, but she's actually able to like move her arm, like her fingers and her wrists now. um
Holy
and I think
shit.
like that's amazing, but I just think I'm just going to be grateful for the stopping of the deterioration, and anything else would just be a massive bonus for me.
Hmm.
um but yeah, it's been very long-winded because I tried to get the drug last summer. I had to,
Holy
as
cow.
our local hospital won't deal with that, so I have to go about an hour away to see like a specialist. Um, and I signed all the paperwork, everything was great, get ready to go, and then my consultant left, and I was like, oh my god, now what happens? And then honestly, I posted about it was on my Instagram. I posted that I was going to get this medicine. I was approved and everything was great. I remember I was in the shower, my phone rang, and I thought, oh, I better answer it. I don't know the number. Like, it might be something to do with this drug. And I answered it, and it was the pharmacy. And they said, oh, we've got your prescription here. It's going to be delivered to you tomorrow. And I'm thinking, oh my fucking God,
It's
my
it.
life is going to change. This is it. Like, oh my God. So I phoned the person that stepped in for my consultant to say, did you know this was happening? Because I didn't. You haven't informed me of anything. And they had no idea. So if I hadn't have phoned them, I would be having it now. Which
Ah,
I know. Why did I open my massive gob?
not even. I would have done the same thing. It's such a
Yeah.
wild scenario, right? You want to
So
make sure you
now,
dot all your I's and cross your T's.
yeah, exactly. And because it's not approved on the NHS and you're having to be like monitored, if I had gone ahead and taken it and then something had happened to me, then it would have been my own fault. So
100%. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You took the
so
right route. You took the right route. But the
yeah.
fact that it's taking such a while, like it's, I don't know, it seems to be this wild drug. I don't know. It seems to be very cool. Like, have you looked into it other than your friend? Like, obviously, stories. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
There's a few groups like on Facebook that I'm part of, and like a lot of people put like their journeys on there and like some of the side effects that they're getting. Um, and yeah, like a lot of people with SMA are on, obviously SMA are on there. Just posting about their journeys really, and a few videos and photos. Like, I don't know, like I don't know what I will. I don't know if I'll notice anything. I don't know if it might be Luke and like my friends and carers that will
It's
notice.
100% going to be those people that are going to notice that stuff
Yeah,
first. That's how it goes.
yeah. The
Yeah.
only thing that I'm hoping that like it might help with is like my neck, because like I sometimes find like for now on my laptop, if I'm typing, for example, my neck goes heavy and I end up like this. And I'm like, oh, and I can't get it up, and I just got this massive
I'm stuck. I got that. Don't worry. We all got it.
But yeah, that's like I'm hoping like that will make a difference to me. But like I said, at the end of the day, if it just stops the deterioration, then that's all I want and all I'm grateful for. If I can
Life
be how I
changing.
am, yeah, right. If I can be how I am right now, forever, then that's what I want.
Yeah, you were getting you've been doing some stuff. Like you were doing some modeling, right? Like you got
Yeah,
hit up by a modeling agency there.
yeah. I did a little bit of modeling for a new brand, working disabled models. Again, they found me on Instagram.
Awesome.
They are amazing. Obviously, I haven't been able to do much because of COVID, but the minute everything's lifted, we are planning to get together to do some more stuff. Then the next thing they've got lined up for me is It's like a underwear photo shoot for like adaptive underwear. So when I say like adaptive underwear, it would be like fancy knickers that have got like
Yeah.
hooks on the side, so it's just
For
easier
like
to get.
cords and stuff like that.
Yeah, so
Yes,
it's just like a
yes.
bit easier for people to get them on and off. Like from my point of view, I need help with all of that stuff anyway.
Yep.
Like, so it wouldn't make much difference to me. But for somebody that's a bit more able, then it would make such a difference. So that is next on the agenda, I believe, which is quite exciting.
I think that's
So,
crazy.
yeah.
I think you got some really cool stuff going on. Now, you can't, I read this thing and I thought it was so wild. So, because it's not, with SMA, it's not just like a legs and arms, like it is every muscle in your body, right?
Yeah.
So, it is, I read that you don't have the ability to cough.
That's right. Well, so I can cough, but it's very pathetic. So I have like this machine that does it for me, basically. Um, so like now, if I needed to clear my throat, I could. But if I had like a chesty cough, there's no way that I could like shake that off my chest. So
Okay.
it's called a cough assist machine, and it's literally like a mask. It goes over your face, and I call it like a Hoover. It's so disgusting. You like put it on and it blows a lot of air into you and then pulls the air. So as it pulls all the crap up basically, and physically makes your body cough. So I'll have it on and I'll feel, like my chest cough. It's amazing.
You probably feel so good after a good old cough.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
There were times before when so I didn't actually know this machine existed until I was really poorly one year, and it was either I was going to have to be admitted to hospital or I needed something along the lines of this machine. And there's a younger girl that has the same condition as me that lives in the small town, and I'm really good friends with her mum. And she said, "Look, Elise is not using it at the moment. Do you want to give it a go?" And I thought, you know what, I'm willing to give absolutely anything a go to keep me out of hospital. Um, and it was amazing. It is honestly life saving.
Immediately, you're like, I need one of these. This is crazy. Thank you so much for showing me this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And then
yeah.
a few months later, I got one myself. And do you know what? Touch wood. I've only had to use it about 3 times since I've had it, and I've had it about 4 years now. So
Wow. Wow.
when I get like really bad is when I use it. I'm meant to use it every day to keep the muscles like strong there, but
Strong.
I don't know. I just like my consultant tells me to do that to keep the air flowing, but I feel fine. So I think I'll just carry on as I am because I know best.
I know best. My body. Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't want to put this mask on my face.
Very
Yeah.
directly.
That's like with so with me and going to the bathroom, I probably have like 70% usage of my bladder, and my my urologist is like, Brandon, you need to make sure you catheter to get that other 30% out. It's not good. It's toxic. Yada yada yada. And I fucking hate it. I hate it so much, and I just find myself like, he bugs me so much, and he's constantly delivering me more catheters as if, like he's like, here, and I get these boxes of like big old box of lube. I'm like, okay, throw that to the side. And then he gives me this box of catheters. I'm like, I see what's going on here. He wants me to use his catheters, and I really I should start using them a lot more, because like I'll get UTIs and bladder infections and stuff like that. So yeah.
I used to have a suprapubic catheter fitted. So that went into like my stomach.
Yep.
But that was more for independence. It wasn't, I don't have any like bladder issues. That was more so because I didn't want people coming in to help me on and off the toilet. I didn't want someone have to come in and wipe me, pull my pants down, etc. But because I mean, it was absolutely fantastic. And I just think anybody that is looking into getting one or has any concerns, I just say do it, because honestly, it made such a big difference to my like younger years, like going out drinking,
Yeah.
dating, all of that. I could just be so independent, and it was just great.
Just because of the suprapubic catheter, eh?
Yeah, honestly, just
Holy
because of that.
fuck.
And it had like a little tap on the end. So I have like full sensation everywhere. And if I needed a wee, I'd literally turn the tap on. If I was out pissed of a night time, I'd go in like a beer bottle or down a drain. Like it didn't matter, just wherever. Then turn the tap off, tuck it away, and whatever. But I had to have it removed last year because For some strange reason, and still to this day, my urologist has no idea why, but I suffered terribly with pain when the catheter was changed every 3 months. Um, I know some people find it uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, the pain that I had, I would rather have my spine fused again and again and again and go through any of that pain.
So this is I didn't realize you had to get that change every 3 months. I didn't realize that's how that
Yeah,
worked.
it's to save like infections and stuff. So
100%. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah. But because I had to have it changed every 3 months, I had to be put to sleep with a general anesthetic every 4 months.
Oh fuck.
And so they put, although it's meant to be 3 months, because I was being put to sleep so often, they pushed it to 4. I had UTIs every week. Oh my God, I was so poorly. And anyway, long story short, I was put to sleep every 4 months for about 10 years. And my consultant said to me, look, with SMA, with your muscles being weak, because it's every muscle, so, absolutely everything. He just didn't want to risk it anymore. And I knew that there would be a day that would come when he would say it, but I just wasn't expecting it to be as soon as
it was.
So I've had conversations like with Luke and like my friends about how I would manage when that time came, and we never really discussed it because it was always like, oh, another 4 months will go, oh, and off she goes again, and off she goes again. Anyway, last year my consultant sat me down and he said, I'm not comfortable anymore. I'm point blank refusing.
For
We
sure.
need to figure something out. And I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, you were in pain, right? Like you were in like an excruciating amount of pain at this point. Yeah.
So only when they changed it, but not like day to day. So like it was brilliant day to day. It was literally just the changes. But honestly, I hit like complete rock bottom when he told me that, because I thought I'm going to lose all my independence. Like I'm going to need more care. I'm going to be a burden to everybody. It's just going to be so fucking shit. And I remember I had it taken out. It went really well. Like they didn't have to stitch it or anything because the hole's tiny.
Yeah.
And I remember I sat on the toilet and I did my first wee with Luke. I remember I just sat there and I was just like, oh my God, like this is my life now. But touch wood, like I've adapted so well. I think the pandemic has helped me in this respect because I haven't gone out. I've adapted at home how everything now needs to work. I have my carers that they're basically on call. So if I need a wee, I'll just phone them and say, can you be with me within 20 minutes to half an hour? Put me on the toilet, and then they go again. So I still got my independence. They're really flexible. They're happy because they're getting paid like a big bit of money just being sat on their ass.
Just hanging out, yeah. Just hanging out with you, yeah.
So that was hard for me, like really, really hard. But I probably wouldn't change it now. Like I feel almost like a bit more normal again. Strange.
Really, yeah. You just gotten used to it. Like I'm sure you have a great relationship with your PAs, right? Like I'm sure.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Yeah. They help you do your hair and your makeup and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do my own makeup, but they do my hair. Like I can't like brush my hair. I can't get like my arm
back there. Yeah.
And they help me with like my shower, like all aspects of personal care, like showering, shaving.
So what's a morning routine look like to you?
So morning routine for me. So I do work full time. So
okay.
In the week it's very rushed. So I get dressed on the bed. They'll do that for me. Or I say to them when I train up new girls, like just imagine you are dressing like a baby, like you put their legs in, then you wriggle them up, roll them over. I was like, that's what it's like for me. I'm just much bigger.
Just a big baby.
But yeah, so they'll do like that for me. They'll feed the cat because Luke's obviously at work at this point as well. Prep me lunch, breakfast, and then dinner. Any like odd jobs that need doing around the house, like any kind of cleaning or whatever. And then of an evening is when like I have my shower. So then they'll put me in the shower, like wash my hair, wash my body, like shave any part of my body that needs shaving, dry my hair, plait whatever my hair needs doing, get it out of the way, dry me, put me into bed. Kind of like I always say to people when they start with me, like anything that you would do for yourself, just be expected to do it for me.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Basically,
don't forget to brush my teeth and stuff. Come on.
Yeah, so I'm I'm good with my teeth, but my arms do get weak, so I have
Tired.
like an electric
Oh
toothbrush.
yeah, me too. Me too.
So
Makes
just
life so
makes
much
life,
easier. Yeah.
yeah, right. But like putting deodorant and stuff on, like they have to lift my arm up and like shove it under my armpit and stuff like that. So, but yeah, they're a great bunch of girls. They are.
That's awesome. Okay, so it's always like a female staff. Like you never would like you'll never have a male at all work with you.
I don't know. Like I've always just had like female staff. I probably would have male. Like obviously, like Luke helps me out every so often. Like when somebody can't come in, and he's really good at showering. He is so good at showering. I don't know if it's because like he's perving on me whilst he's doing it.
100%. He's like, I gotta get soap in every single part of her body.
Literally.
You know, every
So
single.
yeah, he's really good. So I don't know if that's. I don't know. I don't know if I would hire another man. I don't know how Luke would feel about that either.
Yeah, right, 100%. What does Luke do for work, and what do you do for work?
Okay, so Luke works. Well, you won't know it because we're in completely different places. But he works as a yard assistant, and drives a forklift and all the fancy stuff. Lifts heavy items, so which is quite nice.
Yeah.
And he's learning. So he does drive, but he's learning to drive like the bigger lorries, so like his HGV license.
Yeah, he's getting the big rig license. That's where the big money comes in.
Exactly. That's exactly why he's doing it.
Hell yeah.
But he's always wanted to do driving, so he's just working his way up the ladder. And I work in payroll. So I actually work for a disability charity. So people like ourselves that have PAs, we have to submit hours or whatever timesheets to a company that then processes their wages. That's what I do.
So you do these guys' wages and all this shit. That's why they take good care of you. They're like, they know that you do all their paperwork.
Yeah, so it's hard work.
Yeah, absolutely.
It keeps your brain active because no day is the same, and yeah, some of the customers are quite awkward, some of them are very easy, so you never know what one you're going to get when you log in the morning.
So you talk to these people like on like a headset or something like that, or
no? So just on, because we're working from home at the moment, we just use our mobiles, and obviously withheld the number because we have to use our personal phones, but normally under normal circumstances we'd be in the office with just like like an ordinary phone doing ordinary stuff. But I quite like it working from home, to be honest.
Not such a big hassle getting out of the house and all that, right? You can go out of the house when you want to go out of the house.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that I don't like is I feel like I work more when I'm at home. So if I was in the office, every 5 minutes or so I'd be chatting to like a colleague, having a coffee or whatever. But because I'm working from home, I almost feel like I'm being watched, and I have to just work every minute of every second of every day, and I don't have like a lunch break because I'm there thinking, what if they think I'm skiving?
Wow, whatever. You're working your ass off. You said full-time job, right?
Yeah,
like you're working your butt off, man.
But I've spoken to my manager about it loads of times, and she's like, Jazz, you're always up to date, you always get your work done, just stop stressing. And I'm like, I can't, I'm such a stress head, I just worry about the stupidest of things.
How long have you been doing that for?
So I've been full-time for a year, but I've been working for them for in total about 6 years on and off, because I did leave and went somewhere else, and then I went back.
That's awesome. That's honestly, you should be proud of that. You work your ass off, and like you have a disability, a lot of these people will take advantage of the government and get that check, that easy check, and just do whatever they can to do whatever. I know people that aren't even disabled that like I live in like a really this city I live in's got a shit ton of poverty. Like I swear to God, it's like poverty, paralysis, and then just the smallest group of regular people ever, right? Like it's really just a rehabilitation city. So like a lot of these people will take advantage of that, and I'm just honestly, I feel as if once I get out of the city, it will be an advance to me advancing into life and being out of this bullshit, right? Because I don't want to. I have disability right now. I live off disability, and I want to try to figure out my nerve pain. I have a lot of pain. I don't know if you experience pain at all. Like obviously with this AMS, if maybe just like the atrophy of a muscle maybe would hurt or something.
Yeah, no, I don't get any pain. I'm so lucky.
Wow. Okay.
yeah, I just get like the ordinary pain, like, you know, like ordinary people get, like headaches and stuff. Apart from that, I don't.
You ever broken a bone? Have you ever broken a bone or anything like that?
No,
Oh,
no.
wow. What's the
I think
craziest thing that's happened to you recently?
the most painful thing that's happened to me recently, well, not even recently, was probably when I got my tongue pierced.
You know what? I got my tongue pierced, and I remember like when I was in high school, and I had it up until I had to go 3 years ago. I had to go have for an MRI because they're trying to figure out what was going on with me. And they took out my tongue ring, and it closed up so fast. And I was like, I had this thing. I had this thing in like for like over like 10 years, and it closed up so fast.
My
But
God.
I think the actual piercing itself didn't hurt, but after like the swelling was brutal. My swelling in my tongue was brutal. I had like a lisp for a long time.
Yeah, I did as well.
I couldn't figure it out, man. I couldn't
That's
figure it
crazy
out.
that it healed so quickly.
So fast.
You must have like good like, I don't know, what's it called? Like good
Good soldiers in the body.
bearing pulse.
I always think of my body as Osmosis Jones. You ever seen that movie when you were younger?
No.
Just like this silly cartoon, but basically it was like they characterized every little cell. Like a white blood cell was a soldier, and then like a red blood cell would be like a worker, because these are the things that they do for your body. And then when you take a pill, it's like another super soldier. So I think of my body as just like a whole bunch of soldiers trying to fight off some shit.
Yeah.
It didn't do very well when it came to my back, but
Damn it.
yeah, damn it. I have an autoimmune disease, so it's like my body attacked itself kind of thing. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like my body, it could have been like a cold or a flu or like diarrhea. It could have been absolute anything. But my body went to go fight it. And then once it was, say, done or during the attack, it continued attacking my own nerves in my body. Right.
Oh
So it was like
God.
stripping. If you think of like, you think of your body as your nerves in your body as a wire, it was stripping all of the rubber on the outside of it. And then it continued going because we couldn't figure out what the fuck was going on, onto 3 different hospitals. And as this was happening, it kept deteriorating to the point where it broke, right? And that's what left this scar in my spinal cord. And like that's where it was all being attacked, was my spinal cord area. So like that is around the area. Like that's, man, like when I tell people that I woke up paralyzed one day, that is not a joke. Like people are just like, people don't, it's so hard to explain it. Like that was a pretty clean explanation, man. Good thing I had a wire nearby, because like, yeah, that's what happened to me.
That must have been so difficult for you.
It was wild. I fucking hate it even to this day. But to this day, if I had a genie come up to me and be like, Brandon, if I'll give you one wish, you can walk again, but you got to deal with this pain for the rest of your life, or vice versa. You'll be in the chair and no pain. It would be the no pain without a second. Without a second, this pain is brutal. I take massive cocktails of pain medication, and it's not oxycontins or anything like that. Like it's not hydromorphines, because that doesn't do anything for me. It's not that type of pain, right? Like you can get a headache or punch me in the face and I'll take an oxycontin and feel better. But with this pain, like, it doesn't do anything. It just gets me high, and I don't want to be high, right? Like I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to be like loopy all the time, right? Like I went through a phase of my life when I was able-bodied and my mom passed away that like I just was too crazy on drugs and whatever. Like, so when they told me that I didn't have to take oxys and Percocets and whatever it may be, I was like, get the fuck off my list then. Like I don't want it, right? Because I'm gonna get bored, and I'm gonna take advantage of it, and I'm gonna be just like these crackheads out here and take advantage of the system. That's literally the last thing I'm trying to do. So I'm much more advanced. I'm 28 years old, trying to figure this shit out, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's sort of my outlook, and like the really a short, quick tutorial of what happened to me.
Yeah, I never knew, like that's, and I didn't even, like, I probably sound really dumb now, but I never even knew that was like a thing.
I didn't either, man. It's incredibly rare. I've never heard of it. Took 3 hospitals to hear about it, right?
Yeah, right. Do you like speak to anybody like in a similar situation, or?
So I have like you had mentioned earlier, I'm in these Facebook groups like you're in.
Yeah.
And what I have is the original autoimmune disease called Guillain-Barré syndrome, GBS. And then when it made the scar has a name as well, and that's called transverse myelitis. So essentially what the doctor said was, I'm healed from the GBS, and that the transverse myelitis is what really left these residual effects to me. So I am in GBS groups, but a lot of it's really like people and like success stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, fuck, man. Like I was in the hospital thinking like this is what it was. I'm like, success story, 3 months. I'm fucking out of here, because that's what a lot of it's like 3 months. Like people get paralyzed from the neck down and stuff like that, and then like slowly recover, which is what happened to me. So I was paralyzed from the neck down, and it slowly recovered, and then it just stopped. It just stopped around the waist, but it's sort of like a bikini line. So I still feel the parts, which is perfect.
Thank God.
Right. So, and like that was the last thing to come back too. Like there's been little things that have come back whenever I get like little movements in my leg or whatever, but like otherwise, like that's where my feeling is gone. That's where I sort of have come to a conclusion where it's always going to be. And then so I talk to a lot of people in these transverse myelitis groups, right? Yeah. These groups are super negative. Like they are like not negative, but just very depressing in the sense that these people are suffering, man. And it's like, this is just, I don't know, man, if it's just such a low key disease or whatever it may be, that people don't know about it. And like, I think it's just the pain that people are suffering with. People can deal with being in a chair. Being in a chair is not difficult to live with. It really isn't. You know this firsthand. It really isn't that difficult. It's I don't know, things like your muscle atrophy. Or like you could live in a chair if this muscle atrophy could stop. We just discussed that, right? If you can get this Risdaplam, got it. If you can get that, you'll be good. And just like if I can figure out this nerve pain, I'll be good. I can get back to the workforce. I can do this shit. Right? This is the type of things that this podcast is what I'm trying to do with it. Show people that, yo, we can live life perfectly fine. We can get married. We can have kids if we want. We can have dogs and shit. You're a cat lover. I'm a dog lover, right? Like these are the types of things we have. I'm gonna get a cat later for my dog. It'll be a crazy show in this place, but only because I can. And it's like, it's no different. I'm just lazy. I just like to sit. That's all.
Yeah, that's what I say.
So lazy. So lazy.
Lazy to walk.
I see you do this trick where it tricked me so many times. So I'm like, wait, no, she stands.
I know what you're gonna say. I know what you're gonna say.
I'm like, wait, no, she stands. No, she doesn't. And it's like you tilt your chair all the way up and like do some shit. You like lift it, tilt it all the way to the point, and then you lean to the against edge of your seat. And yo, you look like you're standing. You look 100% like you're standing.
I said that to my mom, and she was like, "Oh my god, are you fucking cured?" And I'm like, honestly, all I do is just tilt my chair so it's like almost like 90 degrees, wriggle my bum to the edge of the seat so my legs are dangling, and then it just looks like I'm stood up, and I just like angle my arm or my hip like girls who walk do, and then I'm like, oh, look at me, I'm part of them now. Yeah,
try to get like a quick little butt cheek out, right? There you go. Hilarious. I love it, man. So what was your childhood like then when it came to like all this? Was it a tough childhood or?
No, like my childhood, I would say it was like normal. Like I played in the mud, ate worms.
Yeah.
What else did I like? Obviously childhood was so different to what it is for kids now. Like, but I was
so many computers nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Instagrams.
It was literally just like normal. I went to like mainstream school, had the same kind of like upbringings. I went to sleepovers. I went to like house parties. Again, I probably wouldn't have been able to do that. It wasn't for the catheter. So another.
Wow, man, and that's so wild. I was asked if that was something that I would want, and I'm like, well, I can use 70% of this, and if I just grow up and use the catheter, they're like, if you use it in the morning and you use it at night, we'll be happy, and I think your body will too. So
I think you should. I think you should give it a go. I don't want to be
I think so too. My nanny. Yeah, I think so. I think I'll end up going for it.
Just like start off smaller, like maybe do it like every other day, morning and evening, and then like when you feel like you've got over it.
Really, yeah.
But it's hard, like, yeah, it is hard. But again, like going back to what I was saying, like I probably wouldn't have been able to do all of that stuff if I didn't have the catheter, to be honest. Like I wouldn't have been able to go to house party, like, you know what you do as a kid, like you tell your mum you're going to a sleepover, but actually like you're in a field somewhere.
Fucking
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, like I said, I went to a normal school, did normal things, had like relationships. Everything was like normal for me. I moved out of home, like my family home, when I was 18.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, that was that really. Like my mum and dad split up when I was 3, so I don't like have any memory of them together. So it's always been like seeing mum in the week and then my dad on the weekend and that
You're
kind of
seen a picture of your dad, big bald guy.
Yeah.
Big intimidating man. He's a big guy.
Everybody says that. He's
Intimidating.
like, oh my God, he is so fucking scary. But honestly, he is a teddy bear.
Yeah.
If I went up to him now and just went up to him and said, I don't know, I love you so much, he would probably cry.
Yeah, emotional. Just a big emotional teddy bear.
I'm honestly dreading our wedding because the minute I see him cry, I'm just going to be an absolute mess.
Yeah, well, you do the father-daughter dance, right?
Oh, we're going to probably, yeah.
100%. 100%.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm excited for your wedding, man. Good for you, man. Good for you. What's the future have in store for Jasmine?
You know what? I don't really know.
Other than this wedding. We know about the wedding.
Yeah, I kind of just like we're not sure about children. Like I can have kids, but we're too selfish at the moment. We like our spare time, we like chilling, we like working and going on holidays.
That's me too. Yeah.
Like if I had all the money in the world, what I would do is open a cat sanctuary. I would save all the cats and make it into like a coffee cat place, you know.
Cat and coffee. You're the craziest of cat ladies, eh?
That would be what I would do. That's my dream. But we've got our forever home. Like we're happy. We both work hard. Like I probably couldn't really ask for anything else. Like our family and friends are being healthy, and that's like all I want. Really.
Awesome. I think that you're gonna get this Risdaplam, whatever.
I hope so.
And you're gonna fucking camera. I think you're gonna get some improvement that you didn't have before, like something neat. Like I've seen stories about like stem cells and shit. You know what I mean? Why is this camera so shit? There we go. Like I've done. I know it's such a piece of shit, and it's so expensive at the same time. The fuck. I think that's gonna give you a lot of movement. I think the stem cells, not for you, maybe, I don't know, but like for me, I think that's something that I've looked into for the future. That might be something neat, and it sounds similar to what you've got going on. To maybe I can get a little bit of more movement out of this.
Yeah,
I've done a lot of research on that. I just feel like I'm gonna treat it like it's the new iPhone, and I'm gonna let everybody else get it and figure out the bugs first, and then I'll get it. You know?
Yeah, that's literally me. That's what I'm doing.
Just let everybody else do the. I literally had to read it every time. Risdaplam. Let them do it. Let them get the Rizzy, and let's see what happens.
I'll let you know like what happened. Well, I'll post on Instagram anyway, but I'll let you know how like it affects me and what have you. A few people have said they get an upset stomach, but I'm like, do you know what? That'd be brilliant. I might lose a bit of weight.
There you go. There you go. Win-win. Honestly, when you get this, go through your process. Make sure like you talk to these people. Obviously, you've been doing your research and finding out what the pros and cons of it are. Right? Go through your process, and maybe even we can talk after your wedding. Right? And yeah, we'll do something like that. I have one question for you. We always do this at the end of the segment. It is a would you rather. Okay.
Oh no.
It's a would you rather section. We used to just do this one silly question, and I'm not going to do it with you, but the question was, would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 50 duck-sized horses? Everybody chooses 50 duck-sized horses because nobody wants to fight a giant duck, obviously. So the question for you, seeing as you have all feeling everywhere, is would you rather have vinegar eye drops or sandpaper toilet paper? Well, and this is like you have to the rest of your life.
Sandpaper toilet paper.
Really, eh?
I feel like you maybe might enjoy it. Who knows?
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. That's fucking hilarious. Jasmine, where can my people find you?
So I'm on Instagram. It's literally just my name, which is Jasmine Rankin. Surname is spelled Rankin. That is where I'm at. I have Facebook, but I don't really use it. So
you have TikTok or anything like that? Do you have TikToks?
I do have TikTok, but I have like it's not worth a follow.
It's it's not worth a follow. So you just you really
I don't even know what my username is, but I am on there, and there's like 3 videos, and I'm ashamed of how awful it is.
Oh no. So you just more or less the Instagram, no Twitter, no TikTok, no YouTube or anything like that. You really are super active on your Instagram. And as you guys can see, she is very careful when it comes to the way she looks. She's a potential model in the future, has already done some modeling, and is definitely going to be getting married and cruising in this sweet spaceship she's got of hers. I had a great time with you, Jasmine. Thank you so much for coming by, and I do really want to hear from you when you get married and you figure this shit out.
Thank you so much.
Take care, sweetheart. Absolutely.
Bye.
Bye-bye.